All right, here we are, guys. Welcome to the studio in the den. Here we are in Denton, Texas. This is Weeks Ahead AI. This is our first inaugural episode. We're excited to be here. I'm Brad. We've got Terry Brockett here, Mitch Felderhoff. Andrus is my last name. So anyway, we're excited to be here. This studio was built really for this, with this in mind, and we're going to use it in a lot of ways. But
It's a big day.
it's really a big day. The kickoff. Here we go. First, let's introduce ourselves a little bit more. Terry, why don't you tell our
Sure.
audience kind of a little more about yourself?
Yep. I spent 24 years in the electrical sign business, so I think boring is appropriate.
Yeah.
But I had a wonderful father who started that business and taught me a ton along the way. Spent my time there in that business and ended up selling that business in 2016. Worked for the private equity group for another couple of years after that, and have since been into a lot of different things. Commercial real estate, some businesses, some startup businesses, some more mature businesses. And so it's been a fun journey. Learned a ton along the way, and really glad to be here and doing this with you guys.
Thanks. All right, Mitch.
I was in pet food for about 16 years. It was
Yum,
a
yum,
More
yum,
boring.
Yum, 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 yum.
More boring. Basically, fourth generation family business. Brother and I purchased it from my parents when they wanted to sell it, and then we scaled it and sold it again to private equity about 5 years ago. I stuck on for about 3 years, similar to Terry, and when it stopped being fun, I left. I like to build and create, and now I've jumped into a couple businesses, and main gig right now is dumpsters. So from dog food to dumpsters.
Right
Which
on.
is, I don't have to throw it away anymore. I get to go get someone else's trash, which has been fun. And I'm excited about this project because I think we get to solve a lot of the problems that we both experienced, for 15 to 25 years. On
Absolutely.
the manufacturing side. So, and really excited that Brad built this studio in like 28 days without telling anybody.
Well, I've got a deep down a passion for, or an interest in being on stage. And so anyway, well,
Give him the light.
Tell us about yourself, Brad.
So I come from a banking background originally. Well, really marketing.
Boring. I was boring. That's more boring.
Banking.
Is there anything more boring
No.
than banking?
No, there's not.
Okay. All right.
So that's why I got out of it about 10 years ago.
Terry's carving his niche in this show very quickly
Yeah.
as an adversary.
There you go. About 10 years ago, left banking. I was working for a community bank, mostly, commercial real estate lending is what I did. But left that and started real estate full time, brokerage, property management, investments and development. So kind of the full
Businesses.
lots of business stuff as well. So really have enjoyed that part. Probably over the last 7 or 8 years, working with other entrepreneurs, partnering with them to start up businesses. Really been mostly on the startup side and commercial HVAC, land surveying, a couple of particular industries that we're working in, and so of course operating our own businesses, our real estate related businesses. So it's been a fun ride, and so really when we started kind of getting together, Terry and I have known each other for probably 20 plus years, but really in the last 7 or 8 years, kind of working on a few real estate things together. And it's, I've always had a ton of respect for you and just the way you think about and approach problems and how you're creative in solving them and just, but firm. And so anyway, I've always really enjoyed working with you. I haven't known Mitch nearly as long, maybe a couple of years informally, but really the last year. So it was it's not quite a year ago now. 8 months ago is when we
October is
Yeah.
when we really started our think tank group.
That's when we were each kind of discovering a little bit in our own world some AI stuff and thought, well, let's kind of put our put our heads together and see what we're learning together and share.
Why don't we talk about that? Why
Yeah.
don't we talk about how that journey started?
Go for it.
So it's a funny story because Brad is responsible for all of this. So Brad, one day,
I invented AI.
you,
Is that what?
He's the Al Gore
I'm
of
the,
AI.
I'm the Al Gore of AI.
so one day I'm walking by Brad's office and I hear a really smart person in the room that I've never heard before. And it's obvious that person doesn't belong in that office. So I go in and it's his interaction with his chat bot that is a Chat GPT voice.
Right.
And what's her name?
I call her Tess.
Tess.
Yeah.
So this is like
So-
10 years ago in AI world.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this
so
is
long ago now.
forever ago, but it was October of 2024.
Yeah.
Or this may have been September, but it's in that time
range,
frame.
yeah.
So I walk by, I hear him interacting with this thing, and I'm like, what is that? I knew about ChatGPT, but Brad was interacting with it in a way that I had never interacted. And he was discussing a business case or a business problem, and they were going back and forth like it was a person.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. So I go home that night. I download that happened to be ChatGPT. I download it, and I'm like, I remember not even being able to sleep. Like I was just consumed with, oh my gosh, what is this, and how did I not know about it?
Mm-hmm.
So shortly after that, I call Mitch,
Yeah.
and by the way, I haven't known Mitch that long either, but he and I connected at a dinner one night, and we were able to tell stories that were very similar about selling a business and what the road looked like shortly after with private equity, and so we established that. And
Mitch is, you can just tell from the moment you meet Mitch, he's sharp and he's aggressive. He's forward thinking. So like those things just jump off the page at you. And he'll eat dog food. So,
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I felt the need to call Mitch because there's very few times when I'm like, hey, I think I may know something that Mitch doesn't. Well, this was one of those things. So I call Mitch and tell him or ask him, hey, what are you doing with AI?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know about AI. Like, yeah, Terry, absolutely. What have you done? Well, okay, fine. My kid wrote a kid's book on ChatGPT, and I have no idea about AI, but I'm gonna go start right now. And holy cow!
So that kind of led to Brad and I talking, and I go, Brad, we need a group. We need to get a group together of entrepreneurs or business owners or something to get around the table and just talk about this, because this is going to be a major impact in business. And so I think literally Brad was thinking through you'll get to know Brad. Brad was thinking through the legal process of, hey, how should we do this? How should we do? And I think within like 2 days, I start making phone calls, and I'm like, we've got 6 guys around the table within a week. I go, Brad, we're meeting.
Yeah.
And
You
and
drug
so-
me along on that. I wasn't
In
probably
your
gonna do it the
office, you
same
will
way.
host.
Yeah.
That's right.
But it was a good call. Yeah.
So that's kind of how that unfolded, and then we formalized this group, this think tank, we called it, and man, that's really where my journey with AI took off.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
So that was a fun.
It was pretty organic that way. And so, it's my first experience was just one of my brothers like pressed me. I was having a challenge on a residential lease issue I had, and he pressed me to talk to ChatGPT about it. Or again, I was typing initially, but it was super helpful, and it blew my mind. And so that's when it was like, okay, I learn a little more about that. That's when I started chatting with it. So I maybe was a few weeks ahead of you on that.
You were.
And so anyway, and so we landed on, I think, Mitch, this was your idea, right? The Weeks Ahead name.
It was, I think, just from banter between us when we were trying to figure out if we were like days ahead, weeks ahead, or I think Terry said, I think we're years ahead. And one of us said maybe more like weeks ahead. I don't remember, but either way, it was funny because
I think you should get
It's-
credit for
weeks
that.
are
Yeah.
like years in AI right
In
now.
this world, it feels like yeah.
And it doesn't matter like how hard we try to keep up with it. It goes so fast. And I think that was a cool thing of the group is I think Terry or Brad, one of y'all parsed out homework for everyone of
Yeah.
you go study this, you go study this, go study this. So we had 6 of us all researching different AI products and modules and how to use it and apply it. So we moved really fast in learning it together because we set up kind of filters for the group.
Yeah.
Well, in that group, really, if you think about the number of smart people that we had in that room, we were challenging it. And so there was, every time we came to that meeting, I was super excited because I knew that I was going to learn something from 5 really smart people. And it really just accelerated the journey for me personally. Mm-hmm. And I can say now we're, 9 months later.
Right.
And every time I'm with the two of you guys, I still learn something new. And it may be, a really, really small thing, but it makes a huge difference. And I think that's really kind of what this show is about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't actually come from the future from 2 weeks from now back to do this, but we're trying to stay basically on the cutting edge as much as possible. And we're just normal guys, right? Like none of us have a real really at all a tech background, and so we're just entrepreneurs, business owners, operators, and guys that just see that how can we improve our businesses, how can we help others kind of be more efficient in the way they're operating. And so that's what we're trying to do, is just kind of cut through all the noise, because there's plenty of noise and hype around AI, and as there should be. There's a lot of amazing things that are happening and going to be coming, but it still is kind of a confusing, what in the world is all of this, and how do we use it? How do we use it for our business? So that's what we're trying to really stay a couple of weeks ahead on, and share with our listeners.
And largely AI has been built right now either for Fortune 500 or for retail.
Mm-hmm.
And so there hasn't been a lot of focus on the small businesses other than the inherent AI add-ons within whatever your current ecosystem is, which they're not really trying to do that to improve your life. They're trying to make their product a little bit stickier.
Yeah.
And so you end up just kind of getting pulled in different directions. So
Yeah.
ideally we want to help entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
and-
What can those that are going to be paying attention, tuning in, what can they expect from us here, over the next few months or years as we go forward with this?
One thing that you can expect is that we're going to be looking at everything through the lens of a business and an operator. Mm-hmm. And so whatever it is that we talk about is going to be through that lens.
Yeah, I think so. Like, well, how have we solved problems with AI? How could you solve problems with AI? And
What products are available? We're going to talk very specific products.
Yeah.
and then maybe even, how do you build some stuff with AI? Brad, you mentioned we don't have a tech background, but that's part of what AI does, is it actually kind of creates that bridge for people that don't have the tech background to understand it, because it can literally tell you how it works.
Yeah. Do you anticipate that there'll be any personal tips and how to use it in your personal life? Can you see it spilling into that?
I can.
Yeah.
Because if you think about a business, most of you guys out there, if you're a business owner, you're busy.
Yeah.
And like the biggest thing that I can think about with AI is time.
Yeah.
It helps you save time. And how can I do something instead of a task that takes 5 minutes? How can I do it in half that or whatever? So that's a personal, that bleeds over into the personal.
And I think for
aspect.
most entrepreneurs, business owners, operators like ourselves, that there is a lot of blur, a lot of gray in that work and home, and we all try and do our very best to kind of balance those things out. But there's a lot of gray in that, and so I think that these tools do help in both, and just like any given evening, I may be working, doing something at home. I might also in the office be doing something that I need to be doing for home. And so these tools, definitely, I have found them to be useful in both realms.
Anything else listeners can expect, Mitch?
I think you'll find a way to use AI to understand yourself better.
Yeah.
I think you can teach it to understand you and help you think through problems faster so that you don't get stuck. And I think one of our initial findings within our group, not to go too deep into it, was like you can really unleash an executive or people that can really move the needle in your business so that they're not being bogged down by the simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's thinking power or just actual data entry style stuff where it's pulling time from them, I think you can really allow the people that are going to drive your business to really go move it.
I think it's safe to say too that as fast as things are moving, you're going to see this really understand your business as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm seeing it already with some of the things that I'm doing with AI, but if we can help some of the listeners understand how they can use it to understand their business, understand them better, man, that benefits everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that we're coming onto a period here where this is going to move the needle unlike anything that we have ever seen.
I agree. I mean, literally the most transformative, technology that we will have ever see in our lives, and what builds off of it. And there's been some, none of us had cell phones when we started in business. The internet was just kind of getting, and so there's been some major things that have changed, but this
Dwarfs all of it. It dwarfs all of it.
dwarfs all of it. And so, and hey, we're going to talk about maybe the scary things too, and some of maybe the challenges are going to come with it, because it's not all, sunshine and roses, but what we want to do is use it in ways that really help us. And
Yep. We're
the
happy
needle.
to,
So,
it's going to be transparent. We'll share our wins, our losses, our mistakes. And,
Yep.
and that's part of the fun of it. I'll get to laugh at you two guys. Y'all can certainly
Pl-
laugh at me. And
Plenty of material, right?
there's plenty of material.
and again, we know we're not experts, so we want this to feel like a community. We need you guys, or those that tune in, to kind of give us feedback, share tips with us. And we can share with others, or if you want to come on and you got a great idea that you feel like you need to share, we're definitely going to be interviewing other business owners, other creators, those kind of thought leaders in this industry. So want this to be very much a community effort.
It's going to be fun, guys.
I'm so excited about it.
All right.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So we've got some exciting episodes. We're gonna drop them every Wednesday morning. 5 a.m. is when they're going to hit. That'll be Central Time, and that's when you'll find them on all the streaming locations that you can where to get podcasts. So that's where you'll find it every week. There'll be a new episode, unless Terry's traveling. That happens a lot though. So no,
I'm here to work.
Rain or shine, it'll happen. But we'll have some opportunities kind of on our website and other community opportunities to connect with folks as well. So we're excited about everything that's coming. You'll hear more about it as we talk, but tune in every week. We think we're going to do our best to make it worth your while and kind of show you some, talk about some things that should help.
Welcome to the journey.
Let's go.
Okay, we're weeks ahead. AI, we're going to sign off till next week when we officially get kicked off. We're looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us.